This spring I wanted to introduce some of my favorite tools to you, and when I say my tools, they are tools that I actually designed based on some kind of need that I had. I was using another tool and I said, I wish I had something like that. So this one here is what I call the Mega Marver. Don't ask me where the Mega comes in. So it's a really cool tool. So the Marver part here, this is brass, kind of fairly thin, and here, just to show you, it is 2.5 inches long by 2 inches wide. And what I really like about this tool is the fact that it's made from brass, because brass is a lot more, kind of grabs glass, and so if you marver, if you roll something on this, you move the glass much easier than on a graphite thing. So it has two sides. This is the regular marver, just straight, and you can kind of see that it's not, it's not polished. And I had my toolmaker polish this to a shine before, and the glass was rolling in a weird way. It wasn't grabbing. So this is that side. And what I very much like about it, so I'm going to show you, this is kind of the standard graphite marver, so it's a little bit longer, and there's a piece of metal here. Most of the graphite marvers have this, so you hold it down here, and you see mine, you hold way down here, so you're much closer to the action, if that makes any sense. So I much prefer this. And if you think this part is too short, so I don't marver anything like in one direction only. I go basically marver like that and come back and forth. So it's the same length, if you see that. So now I want to show you the beauty of this part. It is a little bit kind of like a very large Osibin shaper, if you're familiar with those. They're made in graphite and they're a little bit smaller. So this one here, as I said, is 2 inches wide, but you can make a bead that doesn't matter at all how long it is, because you only use one side at a time. So I'm going to make a little bead now. So I'm just making just a black bead. I always like black for some reason when I do sample beads, that when it's about the shape, because you can see beautifully how hot the black glass is. And oops. So this is just a short demo on how to adjust the flame. That's something going on. Okay. So I'm going to make just a very simple bicone. And when I say bicone, I'm not talking about the beads that have like a straight side and then in the middle kind of like a ridge. I guess that would be a proper bicone. So I'm more into the beads that have a slight curve. I find those much more attractive. And so the first step is applying your glass properly. And so it's a little bit difficult because I'm looking through my iPhone here. So what I do is I start and I make, I'm shaky, so I make one round and then a second round and then go sideways. And I'm just basically coiling it around the mandrel. And there's a lot to say. If this was a class on bead making, I would probably talk a lot more about it. But what you do here, you see how the glass kind of melts into the previous layer. So you have to find the right spot in the flame, because you don't want to have like cold coils going around here, because that would be in danger of trapping air. There's so many different ways of making a long barrel like this. Okay, so let's say that's the length of the bead I have. So I kind of finish a couple of coils. And you always see, like when you make a bead like this, typically is that the left side is a little bit skimpier than the right. That's because as you're moving to the right with the glass, this glass is still hot and it wants to go where the heat is, so this glass moves naturally to the right. So now the second layer I kind of make a little bit further towards the inside. I call this way of building a bead making like a step pyramid. So you have one coil, one barrel on the bottom, and then the next barrel is moving slightly inwards to the left and stop short on the right. So let's say like this, like that, and then you can make another, however many layers you want. So here's the small bead. So I'm making the base barrel underneath, the next coil on top, and then one more in the center. So kind of like that. So it basically is already somewhat of a bicone. Now we just have to shape it. So I'm heating, I hold it slightly upwards so the heat goes to the right too. So bring the left side to a nice glow like that. And this is very awkward the way I have to look through this here. So, and then I roll the left side on the left part of the marver. So, and the nice thing is, as you're rolling this, you're making a slight curve. If you were to do this on a flat marver and you roll like this, you will have a straight line, which for this kind of bead you don't want. So this is probably one of the crappiest bicones I've made in a long time, but you should see me kind of hanging over this camera. So, all right, so bring this to a glow and see the left side of the bead is actually cool off. You have to make sure that you only shape one side at a time, because if you keep your entire bead warm, then this will undo itself. See, and I have kind of uneven edges, so now I can go back to the other side if I have to. And this is much easier if you don't have to deal with the phone to look through. So just marver in place, and then see here that the center is a little bit uneven. Now you don't even have to marver this really, you just kind of heat the center and this will shape itself. And see that the edges there, left and right, they are cold, they're black, so they would, if you have shaped them properly, they will not go anywhere. So just heat one side, the other side, and then the middle. And it's kind of not the best bicone, but that makes it very easy using this slight curve. So I hope that if you purchase one of these, that you find that your bicones are going to be so much easier. Thank you.